Yo, peace. My name is Akil, and welcome to my Conscious Crusade yoga page. You can also follow me on Instagram at Conscious Crusade, and that's my yoga page. And my lifestyle page is at Homeboy Chronicles, OHMBOYCHRONICLES. So, without further ado, let's get started with a little mindful movement, mindful breathing, aka yoga. Pay attention to the cues, modify when you need to, and let's begin. So we're gonna come to the tops of our mats and establish our mountain pose. Standing tall, earlobes in line with the shoulders, in line with the hips, in line with the ankles, breathing. Settling in. Let's inhale the arms up, our palms touch and hinge forward at the waist and release our head. Let's inhale up to a flat back and fold forward. Do that a couple times. Notice how soft my knees are as I inhale up again and exhale, fold forward. Shaking my head, yes and no. And last time, inhale, exhale, plant the hands and step back to plank. If you're feeling fatigued or not as strong, go ahead and drop the knees and pick up the feet. Or if you're feeling strong, full plank. Lower to chaturanga. Knees can be down in chaturanga. And I'm gonna this time inhale up into cobra. Notice my quads, pelvis, top of the feet are down, neck is long. And lower down, and then I'm going to press into my palms and lift up into upward facing dog. So there are your two options for back bending, cobra or this pose, upward facing dog. Drop the knees, curl the toes under, down dog. You guys know the first one, walking the dog, alternating the bending of the knees, making sure I'm pressing through all 10 finger pads. Focusing on the index finger and the thumb, we tend to lift those. Just working my way into my downward facing dog. There go my baby. Let's look in between the hands. Bend the knees, I'm gonna walk my feet underneath the hands. Inhale, my spine long. Exhale, fold forward. Tuck my chin to my chest and slowly come to stand. I always do a little twisting. And this creates space in my vertebrae whenever I let the head hang heavy. And meet back in mountain pose for some sun sals, aka sun salutations. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Release the head. Gaze at the quads. Inhale your back flat, plant the hands, make your way to plank, and then lower to chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend cobra or upward facing dog, which this one is, and transition to downward facing dog. Rolling right over the toes. Long spine, heels of the feet going toward the mat, pressing in the heels of the hands, index finger, thumb, and all the rest of the fingers. Long neck, breathing. Looking between the hands, bend the knees, step or float the feet underneath the hands. Inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Look up first, arms spread wide, palms touch up top, gaze at your thumbs, and lower your hands to heart center. Hands at your sides, Samasthiti. We go again, inhaling up, exhale, hinge forward. Drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Plant the hands, make your way low push-up. Jump back into it. Inhale, upwards facing dog. And exhale, down dog. I'm going to kick that right leg straight back. Roll the ankle. And step it through in between the hands. Doesn't quite reach. Grab the Achilles and make sure my ankles under the knee. Drop the left knee, uncurl the toes, push up off that right quad and lean forward, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, send my pelvis down and forward. Last time, inhale, pull back. Exhale, send my pelvis down and forward, and I breathe. If I want to open the front body, the chest and shoulders, then my hands in goalpost. Or I can frame the ears. Or I can clasp the hands, leave the index finger pointed. And if I want to do a back bend, I want to make sure I'm lifting up through the heart before doing the back bend. And then I'm going to frame this front right foot. Extend that right leg. Stack the left hip on top of the left quad. And exhale, hinge forward. I want to lead with my chest. I'm sending my chin toward my ankle. I'm pulling back on my right foot and back on my right hip, breathing. I don't want to have my forehead going to my knee. It's just a personal preference of mine. I like my spine nice and long. If this is painful, you can also have a micro bend in that right knee as well. Just breathing into the opening. That's what creates the opening, the breath. Step onto the accelerator and frame that front right foot. Pick up that left knee. Runner's lunge, and then inhale the arms up to frame the ears, high lunge. I want to drop my left knee. So make sure my pelvis is tilted forward, and then I'm going to frame my ears and then lift that left knee again. Now, if you're not feeling strong, you can lower that left knee. I always encourage my students to do what makes them feel comfortable. Lower down, frame this front right foot, pick up the right knee, kiss it, float it back, and I'm going to make my way in the side plank. Here I'm going to lower that bottom knee, show you the first variation. If you're feeling a little strong and you want to maybe stagger the feet. And if you're really feeling strong, how about stack the feet? If you stack the feet, pull back on the toes, and you can get funky with 5-pointed star, a few other variations. Some people grab the knee and the toe. And I'm going to lift that hip and frame the ear, and then go ahead and lower that right hand down into traditional plank. Do my vinyasa, lower the low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. Kick that left leg back and roll the ankle. Look at that cheap ankle roll. I got to work on that. And step the left foot in between the hands. Doesn't make it, grab the Achilles. Knee over the ankle, drop the right knee, uncurl the right toes, push up off that left quad, inhale, exhale, forward. Pull back on the inhale, exhale, pelvis goes down and forward. And again, pull back on the inhale, exhale, pelvis goes down and forward. Now the stretch is in the front of that right hip, your psoas muscle. Variations, goalposts, opening the chest and shoulders, framing, or clasping the hands. And if you want to do a back bend again, don't forget to lift up the chest before you do your back bend. Frame the front left foot. Take that right hip, stack it on top of that right quad. Don't sit it towards your heels. The hip is stacked over the quad, the left leg extended. Hands are framing. Inhale, your spine long. Exhale, I like to lead with my chest. Chin going toward those flexed toes. And I'm inhaling, lifting, exhaling, lowering, and then I'm going to breathe and create some more opening. Pulling back on those left toes and back on that left hip. Soft micro bend in that extended knee if you feel. The breath work is what creates the opening. I can't stress that enough. Step on the accelerator and frame that front left foot. Pick up that right knee, runner's lunge. Inhale the arms up to frame the ears, high lunge. Let's drop that knee again. Make sure our pelvis is tilted forward. And then frame the ears again. And this time I'm going to pick up that right knee. Now I'm a stickler. I always encourage my students to send energy through the knee, back heel to lift the knee toward the ceiling, as opposed to a soft knee. It just strengthens that posture. High lunge. Frame that front left foot. Pick up the knee, kiss it, float it back. Side lunge on this side, plank, on this side. And the variations, the bottom knee can be down. The feet can be staggered, one in front of the other. or the feet can be stacked. And if they're stacked, make sure to flex them. You can also do 5-pointed star, grab the knee or the toe if you have super flexibility. You can take this posture where you need it to go. I'm going to go ahead and lower that leg, and then I like to lift my hip as I frame the air. And go ahead and lower down into plank. Do your vinyasa, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look in between the hands, bend the knees, step or float the feet underneath the hands. Inhale your back flat. Exhale, fold forward. Look at your quads. Look up first, arms spread wide. We come to stand, palms touch up top, and lower your hands to heart center. Hands at your sides. Let's go ahead and step out to the side. Now I want to try to make sure my feet are parallel toward the short sides of the mat. So they should be turned in a little bit more, but I grab my hips. Inhale, head up, chest up, look up. Exhale, hinge forward and place my hands on the mat right below my face. The right hand is down. Reach through the left fingertips and switch. Press to the palm to lift the torso. Inhale, exhale, reach through the fingertips. Standing strong in the feet. Knees are not locked. Pressing through that bottom hand, reaching through the top fingertips. Long torso. Nice twist in torso. And I want to lower both hands down, bend my knees as I walk the heels of my hands back so they're in line with the heels of my feet. Press into my palms to lift and lengthen my torso on the inhale. And exhale, engage the heels of my hands to try to bring the crown of my head onto the mat. Standing strong in the feet. Try to shorten the distance between your torso and the tops of your thighs. Breathing. It's as if I'm wrapping my back under my armpits. Elbows bent like chaturanga arms. Engage the palms to lift up halfway. Clasp the hands, lift them up off my sacrum, and go ahead and fold forward. Lunge right. Lunge left. Do that a few times. Again, just standing strong in the feet. Just creating opening in the hips and shoulders simultaneously. Why not? Being patient with myself. Noticing how it feels different on one side of my body, more so than the other. Again, send my hands, trying to bring my hands as close to you as possible. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, hands to hips, tuck your chin to the chest, slowly come to stand. Release the hands and heel toe the feet in towards one another. And then jump hop. How's about some balance? Dancer pose, why not? I'm going to show it from this angle. Left hand reaches toward the ceiling. Right hand reaches down and grabs the inside or outside of the right foot and line the knees up, and you can remain here. If you want to go further, kick into that backhand first. Don't tilt forward. Just kick into that backhand first. Then you kick and reach, kick and reach, kick and reach, kick and reach. Kicking the heel away from the glute, reaching through the fingertips. Standing strong in that standing leg. And slowly trying to line the knees up as possible. If you wobble and fall out, that's just how it happens. I laugh and I ain't tripping. Yep, it's what happens in balanced postures. Sometimes I can stick them, other times not. Let's go to the other side. Reaching through the right fingertips. Left hand catches the inside of that left foot, line up the knees. Kicking to the left hand first to establish the back bend after you stop wobbling. And then you kick and reach. Now the pinnacle of this posture is my torso parallel to the floor or that right hand grabbing the top of that left foot. The right hand and I'm reaching with grabbing the top of that left foot. So you want to do a back bend, you want to go parallel to the floor. It just depends on how you feel. Breathing and balancing nonetheless. Dancer pose. Slowly, with as much integrity as possible, line the knees up. And then you exit the posture. That's how it should look. But hey, that's how balance is. Maybe more balanced on one side than the other. Don't judge yourself. My favorite. Yogic squat. Keep the heels down, glutes down, chest up, elbow inside the knees. Always create a little movement. Opening up my hips. For those who cannot keep their heels on the ground, I'm going to demo a block, how to use one of the props, a block. Who got the props? Same rules apply. This time, again, your heels are down, glutes down, chest up, elbow inside the knees. If you can't keep your heels down, I suggest you sit your sacrum on a block. Why not? And a few breaths in yogic squat and make our way into boat pose. Grab the backs of our knees. We want to make ourselves into the shape of a square root sign. Hold on to your knees, your chest is high. Release the hands, still keep the chest high. Flex the feet. Torso and quad, close connection. I'm trying to straighten my legs. Core work, balancing on my sit bones. Reaching through the fingertips. Chest is high. I'm breathing. This is boat pose, aka Navasana. I'm going to lower down to hover. This is what I teach in my class. And then I lower. We lower. We're lowering to a hover. We're lowering to a hover. We hover. We hover. We hover. Abs are still okay. And lay it down. How you feeling? You still with me? Let's go into some back bending bridge pose. Feet are hip width distance apart. Knees up, ankles under the knees. Chest chases the chin. Chin runs away from the chest. Knees go toward the front of the room. I'm going to add a little core work. I want to put my heel on the ceiling. Not my toe, but my heel. I'm flexing that foot. Pressing through the sole of the right foot to lift. To exit this posture, I'm going to come onto my tippy toes, tilt my pelvis high, and then release the hands and lower it down, one vertebra at a time. Knock my knees up under one another to reset my pelvis. Now, if you want to do this second back bend, you can, which is wheel. Otherwise, you can just do bridge again. But those who are going to do wheel, get set up. Palms on the mat next to your ears, fingertips going towards your shoulders. Press into them and push the chest up and back. If you need to go to the crown of your head first, please feel free. But you can explore these postures by coming up on your tippy toes, lifting one knee and extending the leg like we did in bridge. See, I'm rocking back and forth on my hands and feet, trying to just breathing. And then come out of this posture, you got to tuck your chin to your chest. Use your triceps to help you lower down as you bend the elbows. Now, we can hug our knees into our bodies and give ourselves a nice big hug, squeeze, rock side to side, a little forward and backwards gently. And massage the spine back into place. A little detoxifying twist. Inhale both knees towards your face. Exhale, drop them off to your left. Reach and look right. Left hand is resting gently on that right knee, outside that right knee. Natural weight, I'm not pulling, it's just resting. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, surrender. Other side. Inhale the knees toward the face. Exhale, drop them over to the opposite side. reach and look this way. And try not to let the knees go below the waist. Mindful movement, mindful breath. Let's go ahead, exit out of that posture, grab the back of the knees and rock forward and backwards, rock up, cross the ankles, make our way in the table, getting set up for a tripod headstand. Now, the first mistake people make in tripod headstand, they always line their hands up next to their head. That's a no-no. You want to make a triangle, like I am here. The crown is the top, the hands are the base. I'm going to scoot back to where the mat is more cushiony. But see how my crown is the top, the triangle, my hands are the base. Fingers are spread. I'm going to come up onto my toes and walk my toes in toward my elbows. I want to stack my hips over my shoulders. That's what I'm doing here. Check it out. Stacking my hips over the shoulders. That's what I'm trying to do. Now, when you stack the hips over the shoulders, it's actually inverted now. But if you want to work on balance, just drop the knees on the triceps. See how I did that? Want to work on more balance? Send the feet toward the ceiling. But in order to stabilize yourselves, you need to send energy through your toes. So pretend you're walking in high heels and stilettos on the clouds. Breathing. Play with it a little bit. I'm bringing the soles of my feet together, knees going wide. Running in air. My brain is getting fresh blood since my heart is higher than my brain. And to exit out, I'm going to go ahead and drop my knees on my triceps and then go into child's pose to prevent me from getting that yoga high. Let's go ahead and walk my knees back to my hands, sit on my glutes. Extend the legs out front. Toes pointing towards you, heels pointing towards me, knees are soft. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinge before you release the hands. And then slowly lower down. And again, sending your chin toward your shins. I'm reaching, I play with where I want to place my hands. I'm trying to create softness. I don't want to be pulling on my feet. I want to just get the fold and then relax into the fold. Toes are being pulled back. Hamstrings got action. Let's go ahead and lift up and make our way onto our backs for the final posture, Shavasana. You guys know the cues. Palms face up away from the body, toes going comfortably and naturally out to the corners of the mat. Breathing. Release the eyeballs to the back of the skull. Don't clench the teeth or the jaws, and remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And just notice how you feel, the rise and fall in your belly after some mindful movement and mindful breathing. Should be longer, but for the sake purposes of this video, we're gonna wiggle the toes and the fingers and roll the ankles and wrists and give ourselves one last good morning stretch, pointing, flexing the feet, hugging the knees into our bodies. A big hug of gratitude. Before making our way over onto our right side, resting in a comfortable fetal position. The head is on the bicep. We are keeping our eyes closed as we use our hands to push ourselves up into a comfortable seat facing the front. Inhale the arms up, palms touch. Let's lower our hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into the sternum to lift the spine. The crown is tall, chin is parallel to the mat, shoulders are relaxed. Thank you for practicing with me. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.